The Senate has approved 2.176 trillion naira 2023 supplementary budget requested by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Tuesday. The budget was approved following the adoption of a report by the Appropriations Committee presented by the chairman, Senator Adiola Olamilekan, during plenary. The report.
President Tinubu had, in a letter read in both chambers, asked the federal lawmakers to approve the proposal, the second of such this year after 819.5 billion naira was approved to provide palliatives for poor Nigerians. The president, in his letter, said it has become necessary to make further provision for additional palliative measures, including the wage award for public servants and the enhanced cash transfer program, which is intended to benefit the most vulnerable members of society. The Senate on Tuesday urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to prioritize security, agriculture, infrastructure, and other critical sectors in the supplementary appropriation bill of 2.17 trillion naira proposed for passage by it. The bill was presented for first and second reading just immediately, was unanimously adopted and passed by members of the Red Chamber as they all took turns to share their concerns on the judicious utilization of the supplementary appropriation bill as a way to alleviate the hardship being faced by Nigerians.
Sum of 1,165,989,270,049 naira only is for contribution to the Development Fund for Capital Expenditure for the year ending on 31st December 2023.
The Deputy Senate President, Senator Jibrin Barrow, tasked the federal government to ensure critical sectors like security sector are considered in the budget.
There's no government that will come in without rearranging the budgetary structure, the Appropriation Act, so that it gets tailored in line with its own policy and program. So it's not something new.
Senate Whip Senator Ali Ndume commended the federal government and urged them to pass the bill to cover the financial gaps that already exist.
If you look at the budget on defense, this is the first time we have more than 50% allocated to address the issues of security challenges we have.
Senator Seriake Dixon, in his contribution, demanded due process to be followed, adding that the committees must step up to ensure judicious utilization of the funds.
This budget will not be funded from loans. We will not be borrowing to fund this budget. And that, for me, and I believe a number of us, is a very critical issue.
The bill scaled second reading at the floor of the Senate and has been referred to the Committee on Appropriation.
Addressing the issues of the inflation and the suffering of labor people, in other words, the workers, the working population, and even to think of even the students as well, outside just road infrastructure.
President Tinubu's request has generated public debate about Nigeria's growing debt profile.
Now, the House of Representatives on Wednesday approved budgets for the nation's security agencies, the Independent National Electoral Commission, and the ministries of Works, Agriculture, Housing, and others. The approval is sequel to the supplementary budget submitted to the House by the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Tuesday. The report.
The President, Bola Tinubu, has submitted a letter for the passage of the supplementary budget at plenary on Tuesday, and it was speedily read and passed by members after the bill scaled first and second reading. The House had expeditiously invited all the ministries and security services that will be earmarked for the funds to fast-track pending projects and operations for the last quarter of the year. Defence got the largest chunk with 470 billion naira, followed by the Ministry of Works with 300 billion naira. Next is Agriculture with 200 billion naira, the FCT 100 billion naira. Housing, 100 billion naira, Police, 50 billion naira, and the Independent National Electoral Commission received 18 billion naira to complete its preparation for the off-cycle elections in Imo, Kogi, and Bayelsa states.
The House has sent the bill to the Appropriation Committee for further deliberation and considerations. The bill has been specifically structured to improve the country's security, food security, and critical road infrastructure and bridge the housing deficit in the country.
So on the whole, to address our road sector for the next 4 years, we'll be needing about 18.6 trillion. And so the National Assembly must have to, weigh a thinking cap on how we can address seriously our road sector.
I have to make these contractors, Nigeria's mega central and all of them, to go back. I believe that before we enter the season next year, this infrastructure roads would have been completed.
As it stands now, Mr. Chairman, we know the inputs are very costly. We have to provide seeds free of charge to all farmers. We want to at least achieve 200,000 to 250,000 hectares of farmland for this dry season.
The House Committee on Appropriation, with chairmen and deputies of other committees in attendance, grilled the federal government representatives on issues of accountability and transparency. However, the sessions for security chiefs and the police was done in camera as announced by the Appropriation chairman.